everyone! It's me again, Ma'am Mariel, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, ayun na nga, ngayon ay gabi na dito. Pero mas trip natin gumawa ng video tuwing gabi kasi mas malamig yung panahon and mas okay siya, hindi siya mainit. But anyway, today nga is may bago tayong tutorial and it's all about the continuation for the grade 8 lesson I've uploaded last time. Okay? And kung bago ka pa lang dito sa aking YouTube channel, please wag mo muna kalimutang mag-subscribe. I-like tong video, i-hit mo na din yung notification bell down below para naman palagi kang updated sa mga bago kong ina-upload dito sa ating YouTube channel. And kung interested ka sa video na to, panoorin mo ito hanggang dulo. Alright? So, simulan na natin right after the intro. Okay, so kung nauna nyo itong mapanood kesa dun sa una kong ini-upload, balikan nyo muna to. Ililink ko dito sa taas yung link ng unang video about factoring polynomials with common monomial factor. Kasi ito ay second lesson after that, and this is factoring polynomials with difference of two squares. Okay, so may nauna pong lesson, balikan nyo muna yon para mas maintindihan nyo kung ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng factor kasi diniscuss ko siya doon and diniscuss ko nga doon yung kung anong ibig sabihin ng greatest common monomial factor and how are you going to factor polynomials. Okay, so iiwan ko na lang dito sa taas or ilalagay ko sa description box below link ng video na in-upload ko the last time. Okay, so for this lesson, it's all about factoring polynomials with difference of two squares. Okay, so before we proceed to the factoring of polynomials with difference of two squares, kailangan alam muna natin ano ba ang sinasabing perfect squares. Sana all perfect. Okay, so when we say perfect squares, these are numbers or expressions that can be expressed to the power of 2. Ibig sabihin, it has something to do with the exponent of 2. Alright, when we say power of 2, meaning to say exponent. Okay? Like for example, we have here 3 squared. Okay? So always remember, any number you multiply by itself or nilagyan nyo yan ng square, the answer will be a perfect square. Like for example, 3 squared. We have of course 3 times 3. Remember when we say exponent, you are going to multiply the base by itself and the base is 3. Okay? So it should be 3 times 3, not 3 times 2. Alright? So 3 times 3 is equal to 9. Therefore, 9 is a perfect square. Okay? So, ganun lang kasimple. Lahat ng number, kapag dinoble nyo yan, ang sagot doon is a perfect square. Alright? And maglalagay ako dito ng listahan ng mga perfect squares, pero hindi lang to lahat. Okay? So, another example of a perfect square is etong 1/4 squared. Okay? Di ba when we double that 1/4, that would be 1 over 4 times 1 over 4. And that is 1 times 1, that is 1. 4 times 4 is 16. Therefore, 1 over 16 is also a perfect square. Okay? Lahat ng dinodoble natin na numbers, any expressions na dinoble natin, the answer would be a perfect square. And when I say any number, it means 3 times 3, kagaya nito. 6 times 6, the answer is 36. Therefore, 36 is a perfect square. 11 times 11, the answer would be 121. Therefore, 121 is a perfect square. And that is how I'm going to teach you the perfect square. So now, let us define a difference of two squared. So dito meron akong pattern na nilagay. We have a squared minus b squared is equal to a plus b times a minus b. Okay, so when we say difference of two squares, it is the product of two binomial, and that binomial is ito. Ayan, this is a binomial kasi dalawa yung term nila. And this is also a binomial. And then this parenthesis is a product or multiplication. Therefore, a difference of two squares is a product of the two binomial, which is the sum and difference of the square root of these two terms. Ito lang yung pattern na gagamitin natin when we're going to factor polynomials with difference of two squares. And as you can see, this is what we call the difference of two squares. Kapag may nakita kayong minus, ayan, therefore, you are going to use difference of two squares to factor it. Okay? And then as you can see, we have here square and square, and that is difference of two squares. And of course, the pattern would be the product of two binomial. This is a binomial, this is also a binomial, which is the sum, etong sum, and difference of the square root of these two terms. Okay? For example, number 1, we have here x squared minus 64. Okay? So, meron tayong dalawang steps. Dalawa lang to. So, for sure, madali mo lang tong maiintindihan. And I want you to listen carefully para naman mag-sink in talaga yung tinuturo ko sa iyo. Especially kung ikaw ay isang grade 8 student or grade 7 student incoming grade 8. Alright? So, we have here x squared minus 64. So, the first thing to do is to square root both terms. Kukunin lang natin yung square root ng dalawang to. Okay? Kunin lang natin yung square root nito. And then also this one. Ayan. And then the square root of x squared, you are just going to cancel square and the square root because somehow they are just the same. Alright? So, cancel. Therefore, x na lang yung natira. Alright? And then, we also have square root of 64. So, kapag na-master nyo na yung mga square root, madali nyo na lang itong masasagutan. So, 64 is the answer when we double 8. Right? Because 8 times 8 is 64. Therefore, the square root of 64 is, of course, 8. Alright? And then right after that, for the step 2 or the final step, you are just going to write the product of the sum and difference of each two terms na kinuhanan natin ng square root. Okay? So, ganito yung gagawin nyo dyan. Etong pattern na to, yan lang yung susundin nyo. Diba? Sum and difference. And then we have, ayan, maglagay na kayo kagad dyan. Okay? And kapag nahanap nyo na kagad yung square root ni x, lagay nyo na kagad yan dito. X. And remember, sum and difference. Therefore, the operation will be plus and minus. And that is sum and difference. Right? And then dito, ilalagay nyo naman yung square root ng constant na kinuha natin kanina, which is, of course, 8. Therefore, we are just going to write it here. Ayan. And then, the factor of x squared minus 64 is, of course, this one. X plus 8 times x minus 8. Ganun lang siya kasimple. Okay, so for our second example, we have x raised to 4 minus 49. Okay, so huwag kayo masyadong malito dito. Madali lang to as long as you listen. Alright? So, meron tayong iba pang step. Meron pa akong iba pang step na ituturo sa inyo. Pwede nyo din itong gawin. Or pwede din namang, kung alam nyo na mismo yung square root nito, madali na lang to para sa inyo. Pero, ang isa pang pwede nyo gawin dito is to express each terms into an exponential form. Okay? Of course, dun kayo magbe-base sa square. Okay? So, when we square this x raised to 4, that would be x squared raised to 2. Okay? Why? Kasi 2 times 2 is equal to 4. Okay? So, si 49, kapag naman kasi sinabi nating square, you are just going to get its square root pa rin. Ganun pa rin siya. Iba lang yung pinaka-pattern natin. So, we have 7 squared. Why? Kasi 7 times 7 is 49. Right? And then, right after that, just write the sum and difference of these two terms. Okay? So, we have to put two parentheses, open and close. And then, ilagay nyo lang itong nasa parentheses na nakuha natin. So, we have x squared. Of course, huwag nyo kalimutan, plus and minus. And that is 7. Therefore, the factor of x raised to 4 minus 49 is x squared plus 7 and x squared minus 7. As simple as that. Okay, so take a look at our example number 3. We have c squared minus 15. Okay, so I'm going to allow you to think. Do you really think this is a difference of 2 squared? Okay, bibigyan ko kayo ng 5 segundo para mag-isip. Tanungin ang sarili, perfect square ba to? Or ma-factor ba siya natin using difference of 2 squares? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this is not a difference of 2 squares. Why? Because as you can see, c squared is a perfect square. While the term na kasama niya or si 15, is it a perfect square? Meron ba tayong maiisip na number na when multiply by itself, 15 ang sagot? Diba? Wala. Therefore, 15 is not a perfect square. And we're not gonna use difference of 2 squares in this kind of example, which is hindi naman siya perfect square. Okay, so be careful. Alright? Okay, so down to the last example. So we have here 25b squared minus 4. Okay, so wag kayo malito dito, no? Dinagdagan lang naman natin ng numerical coefficient itong ating variable, okay? Kasi nalulungkot naman siya mag-isa. Char. So we have here 25b squared minus 4. Again, i-check nyo muna kung perfect square ba. Yes, they were all perfect squares. Si 25, si b, tsaka si 4. And then right after that, kunin lang natin yung square root nitong mga to. Ayan. So, di ba we have 25b squared? Square lang natin yan. Square root of 25b squared. So, alam naman natin. So, isip kayo ng number na kapag pinag-multiply natin sa kanyang sarili, 25 ang sagot. Alam ko nasa isip mo, it's 5, right? Very good. So, we have 5. And that is 5b. Kasi automatic na ika-cancel nitong ito. And then, para b na lang yung matira. Okay? And then, right after that, ito naman isa. Of course, square root of 4 is, alam mo yung sagot, that is, of course, 2. Alright? And then, ilagay nyo na siya sa product of the sum and difference of 2 squares. We have to put 2 parentheses, that is plus and minus, huwag kalilimutan. And then, yung may variable or yung unang term, dito mo ilalagay, that is 5b. Of course, dito din, lagyan mo din. 5b also. And then, the other one is 2. So, lagay mo lang siya dyan. Lagay lang natin siya dyan. And that's it. This is already the factor of 25b squared minus 4. As simple as that. Diba? Hindi naman talaga siya mahirap. Okay? Okay, so that would be all for this video. Thank you so much everyone for watching. And I hope na may natutunan kayo sa akin from this lesson. Ayan. And of course, kung gusto mo akong maging teacher or gusto mo akong maging tutor, punta ka lang sa aking YouTube channel as well as on my TikTok account and my Facebook page here para naman mas marami kang matutunan about mathematics na tinuturo ko or ini-upload ko sa YouTube or sa TikTok. Alright? So, thank you so much again, everyone. And always remember to make your day productive by gaining knowledge. Again, this is me, Ma'am Mariel, and see you on my next video. God bless everyone.